are you also okay if I use this video for my YouTube channel and my other social media pages? Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. Okay, this is my friend Andrew. I think you already know him. We are practicing languages together. So he's helping me with Tagalog and Hiligaynon. We practice Spanish and Italian together also sometimes. And yeah, today we want to talk about the topic. Is there like a best way to learn a language? We're going to talk about this topic. And yeah, Andrew is also telling what his idea is. I will share mine. And yeah, before starting with this video, I also want to tell something about my Twitch page, because at Monday, 23 November at 11 o'clock Dutch local time, I will have a live stream on my Twitch page, and I will also talk there about yeah, everything which is language related, and I will speak more than 28 languages there. So if you want to check out the stream, my Twitch page is the first link below this video. I also want to tell something about my TikTok page. There are also some language content, and my TikTok page is the second link below this video. And all right, Andrew. So, is there a best way to learn a language? What do you think? I would like to know what you think about this. Like,
Okay, I think each one has his own style of learning, but I have an advice based on my own opinion on how to learn a language. At first, in the morning when you wake up, first is you have to do yoga or meditation for slight exercise,
okay,
maybe 30 minutes. And after that, the next rule is to stay away from your social media account. Don't open
uh,
because in the morning, our brain is starting to function very well compared in the afternoon or in the evening.
yeah.
And if you want to open your social media account, maybe you can do that in the afternoon or just in the evening. Because in the morning, all you have to do is to stay focused, stay disciplined, and you have to do it in maybe for 21 days because 21 days makes a habit. So if you'll do that for 21 days, when you wake up in the morning, you exercise, do stretching, you read your books based on your capability, you listen to music, and it all depends on your time, maybe for an hour or an hour and a half. It all depends on you. And after that, you try to do other stuffs in the afternoon or in the evening, and you'll be okay. You will notice that if you study in the afternoon or in the evening, you'll have difficulty time sleeping because in the afternoon you're already tired, your brain
Mhm.
wants to rest. So I think it's all about relaxing time.
Something what I forgot to say during my conversation with Andrew. Well, I agree with Andrew that it's maybe not good to start the day when looking at a screen and using social media immediately. But on the other hand, social media can be also very useful because it also helps you to have social conversations with people, especially during these days. And I also think that you can improve your languages at the same time. So what I often do is that when I text my friends on Instagram, I, for example, use Russian and Spanish, and by using the activity which is very calming during my day, you can improve your languages at the same time. Video calls can also be very helpful to practice a language with with a native speaker or with another polyglot or other language learner. So this can be very helpful. And life is always about balance. So let's go back to the conversation. Yeah, I agree what you're telling about relaxing. That's definitely important that you feel relaxed when you're learning a language. And when you are forcing yourself too much to learn a language, it can maybe be boring after a while. But let me first answer this question because some people ask me, like, what is the best way to learn a language? And I always tell people, like, I don't believe that there's one best way. I think that there are different ways. And I think it's even important to realize that there are different ways, because it's even a bit, yeah, I think it's good to have a plan A, and if plan A is not working, it's good to have a plan B. So I think there's not one best way. I think it's even important to have like a sort of variation when you're learning languages, so it's not getting boring. And so, for example, you could read books in another language. You can watch movies in another language. But besides that, I also think that every person is different. So every person is processing information on a different way. So every person is different. So I would say that based on the personality, like everyone could have like sort of implement language learning on a different way in his or her lifestyle. So I think you basically don't even need to change a lot on your life. You could basically
Yes.
implement language learning in your life easier by looking at what you're already doing. So look at what the activities which you already have. So for example, um, yeah, like I would say, for example, if someone likes to, well, let's say someone likes to cook, for example, it's very easy to listen to some music in another language while cooking because you don't use so much of your brain energy. And I think that's very important that you feel relaxed. I think it's very important what you said before that you start with an activity which is relaxed. And I
Yes.
even think to, and that's like very different for each person, to look forward at your first activity. So I think it's good to start a day with an activity which is maybe language related, but which you
Yes.
really love. So I can give a good example. Like every day, I'm learning for 1 hour Chinese characters, and
Yes.
some people like that, some people don't like it. That's why I think it's not a better way. It's just a way. But in my case, I really like to draw. And for me, it feels like a little bit like drawing, and it's more like a drawing session for me, and I have a lot of fun with it. And I also like the game part by memorizing which sound fits to which character, of that game. So for me, it's a sort of game. And
Yeah.
for like maybe something else, maybe in the morning they like to do, well, for example, yoga. Well, you could also follow, you could maybe check out a yoga channel which is in another language, if that's helping you. But by looking forward at the next day at the first hour,
Yeah.
it's helping you to wake up and to start the day well. So starting the day well is very important. And
Yeah.
I think at between 8 and 9 o'clock, it's not good to start with something which is too intensive, for your brain. Because same with a car, it takes some time before the engine is started of the car. It's the same
Yeah.
with your brain. It takes some time before it's a sort of warming up your brain. You're doing the same before sporting, right? You take some time before warming up. And then I think between 9 and 11 o'clock, your brains are very you can memorize a lot. It's working better your brain in the morning compared to the evening. So I think it's good to learn at that moment between 9 and 11, maybe the things which are more difficult for you to learn. And yeah, then I would say like yeah, try to be nice to yourself, try to be relaxed, and language learning should be fun. So
Yeah.
for example, if I ask you, what do you like to do, and what is something which you like to do, the thing which you like the most to do? You told me something about a basketball game or something. Was that true? Like,
Okay. Video game, which is basketball or maybe soccer.
yeah. Well, about that, I could also say maybe you could play this game on a console and join a game lobby with people who speak the target language which you are learning. So I think it's good to use the language which you are learning as a sort of instrument to use it as much as possible during the activities which you already have. And I also think that we should be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Is there anything on top what you would like to say? So I think there's not a best way to learn a language. I think it's good to look at each person, and
Yeah.
maybe also talk to other people who are learning languages, and maybe to feel inspired by other
Yeah.
people as well, because I don't believe there's with different ways, but we can inspire each other. That's how I think. What do you think?
And another thing, I just would like to add another thing is first and foremost is you really have to tell that you can, because our brain is very powerful. You have to tell yourself that I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Because they said that knowledge is power, brain is very powerful. So if you already say, oh, it's very difficult, then it's going to drag you day by day. 6 months, 9 months, a year, you will never go anywhere. Just like me, I learned Italian all by myself. Even though it's hard for me, then I always tell myself it's all about internalizing that this one is very easy. It's easy. When I try to read the book, I just try to read it like a glance, just like reading a magazine or a newspaper. Just try to just take a glance, just to be familiarized with each and every one. Because if you're trying to internalize each chapter, it's gonna be heavy on our brain to the point
Yeah,
that in the next morning you're going to be lazy. Oh, I don't want it because it's very
yeah,
difficult. This.
I think it's also good to motivate each other. You know, that's what we're doing. We're learning languages constantly. It's like same as sporting together. When you're with two
Yes.
people, you can motivate each other. So I also recommend people to know other language learners
Yeah.
and to practice with them so you can motivate each other. Okay, I want to thank you, Andrew. It was a very cool session. I definitely want to invite you for a new video project soon because it's very interesting what you're saying. And I want to wish everyone the best with learning languages. So,
Okay. Good luck to
and
everyone. You all
all
can
right,
do it. We're here for you.
yes, yes, and keep practicing, man.